me, if I had my choice, I'd sit down at a chessboard. I think that with chess, it's plausible to understand how I can teach you life. I mean, you're a king, you have your queen, you have your rooks, you have your pawns that are oftentimes looked upon as being the least valuable, but if you understand that the pawn, if it reaches the other side of the board, can become whatever it wants. I mean, if that's not a miraculous testimony, I don't know what is. So that which is least actually can become the greatest. I would say, looking back, being two totally different people at two different times. In those moments, I would literally transform and go from being SGA president to becoming a little kid selling drugs on the street. Been blessed to have football scholarships, but had the tragedy of being incarcerated at the young age of 18 because of dealing drugs. I was given a 4-to-life sentence as a result, and I spent 5 years in prison behind that. So I've spent time on Rikers Island and other institutions. Just saw a lot of things that no one should have to see, but more so young kids. And yeah, I mean, just even thinking back on it right now, to see guys being beat in a shower to the point of you're just sliding down this glass wall and the blood is sliding down with you. I mean, these are things that you see in a movie and you're thinking, this is just in the movies. No, this is actual real life. And at the time, I didn't realize it at the time, how God was molding me and shaping me and just exposing me to this reality. When I was about 6 to 8 months away from coming home, I was watching a VHS tape. I just went to go watch it. Just went to go watch it, to hear a sermon. I had no plans of changing my life.
Let me ask you, wilt thou be made whole?
And I literally heard him speaking to me. Now, I take us back to that point because I started asking this question: what are people going to think about me now? As if there was this crowd that was watching me. And I think that instantly just began to walk with Christ. It's not to say that those thoughts were totally gone, but I just took it one day at a time. As a result, I came home some 6 to 8 months later. I had no idea that God would call me to be a pastor, that God would open up doors such as this to bring me to a place like Agape Corner to serve youth in this way. Specifically, as we work with young men, we purpose to work with families ultimately to empower the family unit. We can also believe that there will be a street that thrives, ultimately bringing about change in the community, and not only provide them with an education, being able to grant these young men a high school diploma, but also to give them a vocational trade so that they can go out into the community and be successful. And I think one of the greatest things that I could have had, which is one of the greatest things that I purposed to make sure that these young men have, is someone to walk with them, alongside them, so that they don't have to feel as if you have to do this on your own. That does not define manhood. I come to the table having an understanding that these are some of the same situations that these young men have gone through and are going through. It gives me an opportunity to speak from a vantage point of empathy and not just sympathy. So I've actually lived in that role, not only having a heart for it, but having lived through it, come out of it, so I'm able to bring a sense of hope. Who is Dante Randolph? Hey, I'm a husband to a loving wife. I'm a father to two of the most awesomest kids. I know that's not a word, that's my word. Two of the most awesomest kids in the world. I'm a brother, I'm a son. I'm the lead pastor of Grace Park Church. I'm a neighbor, and I'm just simply striving to do what God has called me to do, to be of benefit or of some use to the lives of others.